Yeah. Okay. Look, I said that's DJ Rex, and he got the effects. You already know me, freestyling the best. Yeah, you be the last cuckoo to fly over the nest. History makers across my chest. I mean, it says let it rip season. You already know if you fucking with me, I'm gonna leave you there leaking, bleeding, dying, flying. You already know the competition leave you crying. Whoa.
Sporting touch of hands. Round number one. There's that fast start. And that is the fastest knockout in bare knuckle fighting championship.
Hey, mama, no, born in the Bronx, raised in Dade. Been in the city since Pitt had braids. Bahapanti parties, but I know how to sneak me out. Now it's 7-figure meetings every day. We leave the house. It's game time. The game's mine. You know the vibe. Yo viajaba el mundo entero rapping 305.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Don't Blink Podcast. It's me, the kid, and today we have Claudia Trejos in the building.
Yes.
An honor to have you here. It's so awesome to have you here.
Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to be here. You know, I've been like, yo, Uly, remember us, Pope people from the bottom of the totem pole, remember?
No, I would be dying to have you on. It's awesome to have you on. How have you been?
Awesome, great.
Yeah.
2022 started, obviously with the weird situation, but in an amazing way, though.
Right.
So I can't complain. I'm blessed and grateful.
Absolutely. Thank God for that. I was reading, I know you for a while. I don't know if you remember meeting me, but it was only my fifth pro fight here in Miami. And they introduced me to you, and I was like, man, I want to be on one of her interviews one day.
Yeah.
It's awesome to have you here. It's amazing.
Hell yeah.
And she's the first woman in a lot of things.
Yep.
How was it being the first woman in Saudi Arabia?
That was one of those experiences that you are never prepared. Because we all think like it's way out there, first of all, and then of all places, Saudi Arabia. We've had issues with women's rights and what have you. Let's not forget the fact that it wasn't up until a few years ago that women started driving.
Right.
And then I had to wear my hijab, complete hijab, and I do what I do. I have to go into a locker room, so I would get the stink eye for a little bit. Right. It's like, dude, this is what I do. You gotta let me in.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but people are so nice. The food is fantastic.
I bet.
Oh my gosh, dude! For a breakfast, it was with big ol' hunkin' cordero, right, sitting there, like cooked to perfection, fresh fruits and vegetables for breakfast.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes,
that's
and
amazing.
that was included in the hotel. I mean, like,
it's like a normal thing, a normal amenity.
Like todos los días.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, wow.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to start with that because I saw that she was the first woman to broadcast a boxing match in Saudi Arabia, and that was only in 2019.
Yes, that was.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
It was right before the pandemic hit, and it was one of those things. Once we announced that DAZN was going to be doing the Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua fight, and it was going to be a limited crew, so you know how we are. We're like, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
And then I got the call, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get ready because it's not like you can wear jeans and t-shirt. No,
right. And you're flying across the world.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And how many days was that?
Okay, so I landed. We had to go straight to the press conference. Then we did weigh-in. Then we did the fight, and right after the fight, we flew back.
Boom.
Oof. Yeah. It was
intense
in a
too,
blink,
right?
you were done. And I swear I could not blink. It's one of those moments.
Don't blink,
baby.
Don't blink.
Don't blink because you
that
miss
moment
it.
right there.
Awesome.
I know. Talk about moments for real. Like I'm sitting there and I'm watching the fight, and it was one of those surreal moments when I rewind the tape. And back in 1990, when I first came to the States, I was in Los Angeles. I had no idea that I would be doing this. And that's when you realize that miracles do happen. That of all things, me, Claudia Trejos, immigrant from Colombia, a female in Saudi Arabia, doing what I love to do and getting paid.
That's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of hard work and consistency behind that. You know what I mean?
Amen to that.
So
yes.
A miracle with some work behind it.
Yes.
And I'm glad you touched on that. Claudia Trejos, a woman from Colombia. I want to get started from the beginning. Let the people know where you're from and how did we get to boxing?
Interesting. That's a very good question. Well, I born and raised in Cali, Colombia.
Okay. Beautiful place. I've been there.
Yes.
Beautiful place.
We can party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can party. Actually, I can party a lot. But anyway, that goes. You've seen me dance. So.
Yeah. We partied together.
Yes, we have. So I came to America with the thought that I was going to become a doctor. But at the moment, you have to go through a whole lot of process. And then in the midst of that, my mom was kidnapped in Colombia.
Oh, shit.
So I was already working nights and early mornings. Like I was setting cameras on what we call a grip. That's how I started back in the day. When we would still have like to connect the cameras all the way from the truck, bring it all the way down to the arena at Dodger Stadium. And at the time it was the Forum. So, and because obviously I'm Hispanic and a lot of ball players were Hispanic, Raul Mondesi, Adrian Beltré, they were just coming up and they needed translators. So I would do the grip, translate, and still keep the books while the game was going on. I would still keep.
But that's teaching you how to talk like that too.
Yes,
which is awesome.
yes.
Wow. So
Yes.
so from Colombia you ended up in LA.
In LA, yes, and I lived in LA for
How old were you when you got there?
20.
20? Okay,
20.
so
Yes.
you're out of school. You're a woman.
Out of school, yeah. Well, yeah, I had left Colombia when I was 16.
Okay.
And I studied abroad, and then I went to Los Angeles. And then, one thing led to another. My mom was kidnapped. Now I had to face the real world.
Yeah.
And I was supporting my sister and my nephew. So somebody said, do you need more hours? It's like, sure, I need more hours. So going from a 6-hour shift, I went to a 12-hour shift, and then it just one day I had to have the Vámonos a Jesus conversation with me, myself, and I, and say, well, school is going to take a back burn.
Right.
And it's one of talk about blinking.
Yeah.
It was I swear it was that split moment that I said, you know what? I really like what I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love what I do. And I never looked back since.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
But I want to ask you something because you said it twice. You said your mom got kidnapped. Tell me mom's all right.
No.
Mom's not all right.
Mom was never found.
Mom was never found?
No.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Wow.
But that, we could look at it.
Fuck, I'm sorry to bring it up. I was hoping it had a happy ending.
No, it's you know what? I like the fact that you bring it up because a lot of people think that you watch the movies and you watch the shows and crime and violence is glorified in so many ways, and it's good to know that there's a live person that breathes and has a life that has lived through that, and when I'm not chastising anybody that sees those shows. I personally can't watch it because they never come up with a happy ending. In real life, there is never a happy ending. And, sometimes the bad guy does take the better part of humanity and society. So I'm living proof of that. Now, I could either dwell on that and say, oh, shit, my mom. But my mom suffered the consequences of her job. She was a prominent lawyer, and then she became a judge. And she did what she needed to do at the moment that she did it.
She stood up against them.
And yes, and we could say, oh my God, but she has kids and so on. But she believed in what she was doing, and my hat's off to her. I didn't go through the loss of my mom until I became a mom, because once I became a mom, I realized, shit, I'm alone. I have nobody to teach me jack. Now I have to do this on my own and figure it out. And there are no handbooks.
Right.
There are no handbooks.
Right. No matter how many are written, there's still.
No.
From that came a very strong woman, obviously, and driven woman. So, I'm sorry to hear about mom.
No, thank you. But I know that she got wings, and I cannot take. I say this, and I've said it a million times. This was never my goal.
Right.
Yeah.
So things happen for a reason, and I had absolutely no control on that. So I strongly believe that there was somebody guiding me that took me by the hand, because I had no idea.
Right.
That one day they said, I produced a segment, yada, yada, yada. That's how I ended up being a sports broadcaster.
Yeah, because you went from grip to translating to now
to producing, to anchoring. And then I became an analyst. But it sounds quick, but it wasn't.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but the funny,
overnight success, that took 20 years,
So it's funny because in that process, my talent didn't show up. And you know how that goes? Talent doesn't show up and you're screwed. You got everything. You got the highlights, and it was for Partido de la Liga, and I had all the highlights of all the games that were played that day. So I had scores and highlights, and it was just like a 3.5 minute segment. So it was like not a big deal. I wrote it, I edited, and it was, they analyzed and they throw and this is what happened the rest of the Liga, and then you go through all and then you go back to the set. No biggie. My talent didn't show up.
Oh,
so the executive producer said, "Shit, this." Plus, it was promoted, and you know how that goes. Once money's there, you can't.
You gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
So it was, and I, this is as good as my makeup gets, and I did this for you guys. But you see me.
Yeah, exactly. And like they say, the show must go on.
The show must go on. So they said, go to my assistant. She'll put some lipstick and something. And do you have a jacket? I said no. I was literally wearing jeans and a t-shirt. And that's how I made it on air. And then I will never forget, his name is Michael Rocha to this day. He lives here in Miami now. And he said, listen to what I'm going to say. This is the beginning of something you never expected.
Wow.
And that was so true. So that was, I want to say, that was the beginning of the end of my medical career. But my lifetime romance with sports in general.
Shout out to him. He's like, what the Megalo? He called the future.
Yeah, he did. And again, I did not get here on my own. There's a lot of people that come in, and sometimes they come for a reason or a season or a lifetime, and I've had all of them. Yeah.
You see the crew behind the camera right here.
And
it
it
takes a machine to make it happen.
Exactly. I shout out to all these people because they're so. It takes so much for you to be able to sit here and only think about what you want to do,
right?
Because they're making it happen.
Yeah, I know. We've been doing it for over a year now. Same family from day one, so it's been amazing. Thank God for
congratulations, because the growth has been exponential.
Thank you,
and it's been worth every single minute.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's get back to you, though.
Yeah, sure.
So what was the first gig? What was your first gig as an anchor, I guess, where your face was on TV?
Dude, my first gig was the U.S. Open in New York.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was baptized through fire. It was like, I used to play tennis.
Too.
Yeah, I used to play tennis.
Okay.
So I was like, you know tennis?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
I know. No, but that's what it's like. So
I love too.
You know tennis. I go, sure, I know tennis. And what do you know about tennis? I said, I've been following forever. Okay, so you're going to New York. You're doing the U.S. Open. It's like, say what?
Oh, yeah. So who's this, ESPN? What?
No, at the time. So this has been a beautiful transition. It went from Prime Ticket to Prime Sports that later became Fox Sports.
Okay, I remember.
And it was Fox Sports Americas back in the day.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I was in the transition as a production coordinator. I was not even a talent. So, but I was like cheap.
Yeah.
I was cheap talent.
No, and you speak very well. I'm sure people heard you talking like, oh, this girl, you carry yourself well.
Yeah, I bullshit my way through pretty much everything. Yeah.
She was letting it rip the whole way, like just winging it, but just doing it though.
Yes.
That's awesome. So that was the beginning.
That was the beginning of my broadcast career. Yes. And then as I was the production coordinator and the talent, I get a call from Jermaine Valderrama, may he rest in peace. I had no idea who that guy was, but he used to work at Univision. Yeah, his resume was like 300 pages long, and he said, this gentleman Mario Solis, another talent, says that you're good. I need you here. Perdón? Yeah. We're starting a newscast, and I want you to be my anchor. Sports anchor. Wow. And I'm like, what? So, but I show up, right? Yeah. And then you're having the conversation. When do you need me to start? Tomorrow. I'm like, I can't do that. I have production.
Right.
It's like, you don't understand. This is it. So I go back to my boss. I spoke to everybody that I had to speak to, and it's like, you need to do this. Get the hell out of Dodge. Go. Again, I'm like, what? I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's like, and literally baptism through fire.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
And let me ask you something. I don't want to put a date on you, but what is this? This is like mid-90s?
Yes.
Okay.
Mid-90s.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've been in the business for 30 years.
Okay, wow.
I'm 53.
Oh, you look amazing.
Yeah.
You're kicking ass.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So 30 years in the sports broadcast. So, okay. So I met you through boxing.
Yes.
And how long have you, when did you get into boxing?
When I was about 6.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
There you go. Hey, listen, you're like a surprise box.
Yeah, no, it's like, so I come from a huge family. I'm number 14 out of 17 kids.
Okay,
so at any given day, we had about 5-6 kids at the house, and
Mom and Dad were busy.
yeah, well, no, it was more dad than mom.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Back in those days, it was a lot like that. Yeah.
I have older siblings.
Then
and
you find out when you're 20 that, hey, I'm your brother. I'm like, oh, for real?
Dude, that it happened to me. My last sibling I met when I was 17. It was like,
shit.
Oh, wow.
yeah, the best part,
awesome.
we all look alike.
Wow.
Like if you put us on a lineup, Trejos.
Dad had them strong genes.
Yes. Couldn't deny it. And my brothers were bellicose. They were just very feisty. And my dad is like, okay, you got to do your homework, whatever. And wherever you're going to go, you're going to te tienes que llevar a la niña.
Yeah.
Really, for real. Typical. So my brothers would fight, and they thought it was funny to just, like throw punches at me, and then mitts, and it was one of those things that I boxing, either you have it or you don't.
Right.
You can learn the fundamentals, basic stuff, footwork, punches, but you either have it or you don't, and I had it. Right. And my dad was always very concerned because my brothers were like 15 and 20 years older than me. And they would just, like throw punches. And I would take them. And I would come back. And it was like, if I couldn't punch them, then I would bite them. But something had to do. So that transition. And then I remember having this clear image. There was this beautiful black man, strong as shit. And he was just so agile. And it just happened to be Muhammad Ali.
Oh, wow.
And that was the man that later on, it was like, when you add one and one together, as I was growing up, then I realized who he was. Not only his influence in the sport itself, but then socially and diehard Muhammad Ali fan. Then I fast forward, like Colombia stops for two things, either guerrilla or sports, usually soccer. But I grew up watching Kid Pambele, Happy Lora, and then Carlos Monzon. So it was one of those, like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And I was the girl. And I remember, like, I was, out of those 17 kids, were only 4 girls. So I was the one.
Wow.
Yes. So I was the
was the
one.
feisty one, right?
I was the feisty one, yes. and then the typical dad, a ver, échate a Claudia a ver cómo te va. A ver. So then, you get the formation. Then, living in Los Angeles, it was like my way to...
Right.
Because especially in boxing, for real, you can't blink. It's you're in the moment.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about the sport.
Absolutely. I've talked about that before. You're right. Yeah.
You gotta be there.
Right.
And it's
now you're getting knocked the fuck out.
yes, no shit. For real.
Yeah.
So fast forward 1996 for the Olympics. This is how the world just I get emotional.
Where was that?
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. That's right. That was the bombing.
Yes.
That's right.
Not only that, but it was Muhammad Ali lighting up the Olympic flame.
I remember watching that too. Yeah.
So, and I say this and I get emotional because that's when you realize how wonderful life is.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a little grip. I'm there just helping out. I didn't even have a credential because we were not rights holders. So we're just like in the boonies.
And it's the Olympics.
Yeah, you
it's the
hustling it
Olympics.
through.
And here comes Muhammad Ali being helped.
Fuck, man.
Because he needed to go. I don't know if you guys remember. You might be too young, but it was all the way up there.
No,
and they
I remember.
actually
Of course.
they brought him up, and you could see his hand was shaking here, but he was so stoic, and there was something so prideful about him.
Yeah.
And it was just that.
He's an icon. You know what I mean? However, whatever. Cause I saw him towards the end too. Yeah, and. Obviously, he didn't look good, but he's just an icon in my eyes the same way.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And that's that. I'm not going to say that was my first experience because I had already done graphics for boxing because people didn't even know what it, like a tail tape, and then I had to do the translation. So it was, like I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And then I get a chance to meet Muhammad Ali, and then a few years later, I had to do his daughter's fights against Christy Martin, and so it's always been in me. You know what I'm saying? It's always been in me.
Yeah.
I cannot pinpoint a day that I said, oh yeah, this is the day I learned how to box.
Right.
I can't say that.
Right. It just goes back in your DNA.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, that transition, how was that for you?
It was the most depressing time of my life.
Yeah.
Really?
I had never by the time I was 52, 51, I had never lived without sports. Think about it. And again, our world is so small compared to everything that goes on. But when it touches you, it's like, oh shit. Like one day, I got off the plane, March 14th.
That's my birthday. That's when I hit.
You're a Pisces, yes. So I got off the plane on March 14th, Pisces.
Yes.
Because mine is March 20th.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, last day. You're the last day.
Yeah, I'm the last day. So, and March 16th, they're saying that we're going to close.
Right.
March 20th, they closed.
Well, on my birthday it was a Saturday on that year, 2020, and we had a little plan. Everybody's gonna meet up at one place, and then people started going, "Yo, you see this COVID thing?" I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, bro. Nobody showed up.
And everything was shut down.
Yep.
And then it was like I'm talking to my NBA friend because I also do the NBA, and I'm talking to my NBA friends, and then the NBA is getting guys are getting sick, and then all of a sudden they shut down the NBA, and I'm like,
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Not only that, first we have no work. Okay, so you're thinking, oh shit, bills, but then it's like I have nothing to watch, and I'm at home sitting on my hands. What the heck? And I went into, I'm not going to say a clinical depression, but it was, it was my body saying, you can't do this. Yeah. What? You can't. And like everybody was afraid to even go outside. Like we were quarantined. Like everybody was quarantined. And it was like, I'm a social person. I need people.
Absolutely. We're the same way. Yeah.
We need people. And I was isolated, and it was like my body can't do this. I don't know what the hell's going on. And now I'm with my teenage daughter, who's impossible at the time, who was about to turn 15, and it's like, okay, so I'm an alpha female, she's an alpha female. No. It was like
bumping heads.
Oh my God. But you know what that did to me? First, it made me value my house.
Right.
Because my house was just an airport. It was another airport. I literally change bags and leave. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, maybe I should paint that. And how about if I fix this?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, I have a pretty nice home.
Absolutely. I did the same thing during COVID. Inside the house got painted. I got a boxing ring in the backyard now and everything. Yeah.
But isn't that beautiful?
It is.
And you know what? The most important thing that happened was I realized how blessed I am. How grateful I am, and that I have good friends, very good friends. Because throughout all that time, there was not one day that I didn't get a phone call or that I didn't make a phone call. We would have I'm sorry, I smoke cigars and I drink scotch. I would literally, so this happened for real. So I called Chauncey Billups. Shout out to Chauncey, is a good friend of mine.
Shout out to Chauncey Billups, man.
I love Chauncey. Chauncey and I have known each other. We've had a love-hate relationship forever and a day.
That's awesome.
And I called Chauncey, I go, dude, I know you don't drink, you don't smoke, but you're not working. I'm not working. Nobody else picking up. You're gonna have to drink and smoke with me. He goes, fine. So we did the whole FaceTime, and we were talking. And he's like, you're a sick pup. You're calling me for you to drink and smoke. I go, yeah, because if I do it alone, then I'm an alky. Yeah. No, I need a friend.
That's hilarious. You got a FaceTime
awesome.
friend at work.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. All right, and so now you're bare knuckle.
Yes, and you know what? It has been so. He who likes combat sports, no explanation necessary.
Right.
He who doesn't, no explanation will suffice. So it doesn't matter how hard I try to explain how intense and how exciting. And I'm gonna use this word lightly, so y'all don't start like she's nuts. How safe it really is compared to boxing. And I'm going to say this side story. I've covered fights where fighters have died. Some in the ring and some after. And I've seen serious consequences after the fight. Maybe not death, but quadriplegics. Yeah. And there's not one day that I don't think about my fight. They're all my fighters. I don't care. They have their mamas and their wives and their kids, but they're my fighters. They're my fighters. I go into the ring, into their locker rooms because they're my fighters. I feel their pain, and I celebrate their victories. Everybody remembers who wins. Nobody remembers who loses. And nobody remembers who actually had a really, really bad day at the office. Yeah. Those are forgotten. try not to forget them. And the one thing that I admire about BYB or Bare Knuckle is the fact that, first of all, the camaraderie, because it's still such a small society. It's very tight knit. We all know each other. But also, it's funny because I've seen you guys do it. You guys hit each other, but you're very aware of how much damage you did or how much damage you suffered. Right. And there's always that second thought, I don't want to go there again. Right. And then it's so everything happens so fast that the damage is a lot less. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I try to explain that to other people. They go, you're just crazy. I go, I know I am, but...
Yeah, it's true. Everything's happening at such a fast pace that, if you are taking on damage, it's not really affecting you at the moment because your adrenaline is through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your blood pressure's through the roof. You're so hyper focused on things that you know. But you know how it is also. Like it happened to me in my last fight. 30 minutes later, like.
Claro, yes, I remember it. But let's not forget that those cuts.
Yeah.
Jeez, but then again, thank God for the cuts, which is something else that people don't understand.
Release pressure.
Exactly.
Right,
less damage. It's just tissue repairs. And that's another thing that people don't understand. What really hurts the fighter is the constant bang. It's like the Bell effect on the brain against
with the gloves.
Yes.
That cushion.
Because the glove is not really to protect the opponent, it's to protect the hand.
Right.
So you're still doing damage and even internal damage, and the brain constantly shaking in your head, that causes concussion, brain damage, yada yada, and the list goes on.
Of course.
Shout out to Preacher Colon. You guys know the story?
No, I don't.
It was about 17 rabbit punches, and he literally walked off the ring and major brain damage.
Oh, I did hear about that. I saw him recently. He's like a quadriplegic right on a chair. Right?
Thank goodness he's actually recovered.
Oh, okay.
Goes to show to the marvelous thing this vessel is.
Holy
Given
shoot.
the opportunity and the right care, and it has the ability to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and God bless him. And he was an athlete. You know, and it happened to him. But when I remember the picture I had seen, he was like in bad shape.
Yes,
he wasn't even like there. You know.
No, exactly. And now he speaks, and
wow,
I mean,
awesome.
we're
God
not
bless.
going to say that he's going to fight anytime soon.
Right.
But we also have
But he's alive and he's comprehending. Okay.
Yes,
Right,
yes. In another case, Magomed Abdusalamov back in the day against Michael Perez, that you remember him because he was also Cuban, and you were in 2008. And in that promotion of the Cuban defectors that were doing that show here was it Fontainebleau?
No,
or DeVille. Was it the DeVille?
Yeah.
So Michael Perez was the generation right after. Okay. But very close. Okay. Very close. So Michael Perez, a heavyweight, and he just beat him to a pulp. And the guy spoke Russian, and the whole thing was lost in translation. I mean, his cheekbone was totally shattered, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it is the hurt business, but I mean, and I don't know the numbers. I'll be lying to you if I did, but I know, you know, like casualties like that, they're you know, sorry that they happen, but they're very rare. Thank God, you know. And also you hope that the referee gets in there and stops somebody from getting beat to death.
It's key.
Yeah.
It's key. I mean, the first line of defense for any fighter is the ref.
Right.
Then the corner. The last guy that should have a word in the ring, I'm sorry, should be the fighter. Okay. Because you guys
should be doing their job.
And you guys don't have quit. There's no quit in you.
Right. It's true. Right, and
he's going down the list.
Yeah. You know what's funny? We actually sat here when the show started, and we're like, wow. Like usually our guest is like half of this. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's got a ton of accolades, which is amazing. Well, so what else you got going on besides bare knuckle?
I got boxing with the Zone.
Okay.
And
you're with the Zone. Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
I left ESPN last year.
Nice.
That was, you know, it was like a divorce.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it was like a divorce. Yeah, trust me, I've had a couple
like
of
like an ugly divorce?
It wasn't. No, it was an amicable divorce,
Okay,
but
okay.
it was because due to COVID. I mean, it didn't make sense. They didn't know when to bring me back.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was literally because things happen just like that. It was so
Like they're supposed to.
Yes, and the more you push, then the more pushback you get, and then the
right.
more stagnant you feel. The minute that you let go, okay. So let me rewind the tape. I was working here in Miami, and I get a phone call from a gentleman from ESPN and says, we're interested in you working with us. So it's like, yeah, sure, right. I'm about to do a show. Let me call you back.
Yeah.
Who calls Claudia Trejos from ESPN? That's like, and because I'm kind of like slow like that. So I hang up the phone and, I do the segment, and my friend, Vanessa Og, she goes, I heard you say ESPN. I said, yeah. She goes, hey, what they say? I said, I don't know. It's like they want to talk to me. Dude, on a weekend, on a hop, skip, and a jump. Can you get the flight at 5 o'clock in the afternoon? I said, yeah. And then, the minute that
they flew you out like that quick?
Yeah, just like that. And
That's ESPN. That's a tough dog.
No jodas. But the minute, it's so intimidating. Because you walk in and we're not talking one building, like, no. It's a campus.
I bet, for sure.
So I come from Hialeah. Remember when Telemundo used to be at the warehouses in
Hialeah?
off
Next to the
Street?
train tracks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right over there.
Exactly. Right behind it. Exactly. And I used to go across where the casino was, and I would get coladitos.
Yes.
Let's not talk about what else was happening.
Claudia straight out of Hialeah.
Shout out to Hialeah, La Ciudad del Progreso. Yeah. I spent many days there, and it was. I'm going to be there on Friday too.
What, for the fights?
For the fights on Friday.
Yeah.
They had the churros in the corner too.
Yes,
Let me just add that, please.
In Mamoncillo, right there in the middle of the street. You got it.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking, something's not right. Like something just doesn't fit. And then 20 years later, obviously, there's ESPN gave me the world of sports.
Right.
Yeah. It just takes you to a different level.
No, it's the top platform. It's the top.
Yes.
It's the top of the food chain when it comes to that.
And they'll take you by the hand. It's like, no, Nena, no, not like that. You don't need to, like I would squabble, like, I want that 15-second soundbite. You don't need 15. I can give you 30. It's like, oh yeah, because I'm not doing a segment anymore. It's like all of a sudden you're talking long form. Now I'm priority. Where before at Telemundo I would be fighting tooth and nail for like, no, I gotta get that highlight. It's like another highlight. Otro de Oscar. Otro de la selección mexicana. It's like, yeah. But now all of a sudden it's like the world is at your feet, and now I have somebody to cut the highlight. And put the graphic. I don't have to go digging for like escribirlo literalmente.
Yeah. Do the whole thing.
You got the team.
Yes.
You got the team now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it was, and if it weren't for ESPN and what I learned, not just through the company, but I mean, think about it. Boomer is walking, and it's playoff week, and you're thinking, holy shit, I know that guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So and you see the flow and the pace, and you go, one day when I grow up, I want to be like that, like Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I want to be like Mike too.
So even being in that environment, like it kept you on your toes, make you want to keep getting better and better and better and better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can't slack.
Yeah.
You can't slack. You can't have a bad day at the office. For sure, you cannot have a bad day at the office. Because I'm gonna go back. In Los Angeles, I was the first female to ever do the cross. I was actually the first Hispanic to do the crossover from Spanish TV to Anglo market, and it was a nightmare for 2.5 years because I refused to not roll my R's, and because I'm still very colloquial, very Colombian. I will forever. I mean, you can't. I can speak English.
¿Qué hubo, paisa?
¿Qué más, mijo? ¿Bien o no? But you can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
I can't walk away from that. I can't. It's not like I take a shower and come back and I'm, no, this is it. This is what you got.
Right.
So when I went to ESPN, they embraced my culture. They embraced what I am, and they thought of it as bringing something else to the table.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, connecting the dots. It was like, I had to go through that because I was getting ready for
Of course,
this.
that's how it always is. Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
That's the lesson
the
learned in that
stairs
thing
of
right
life,
there.
The stairs of life. You gotta climb up. And what's up with the zone? Is the zone putting people behind you like that right now too, or you got your own? You run that your way. When is the zone?
Well, the zone, it's an interesting experiment and still in the process. But
Right.
yeah, they were kind enough to bring me in, and I started in long forms, what we call like docuseries.
Right.
And I started with Rocky Fielding, Canelo, and due to the relationship that I have with the fighters, then I was allowed to do the features on the fighters. And then she knows, so they brought me to the table, and then poquito a poco, you know. But it's a completely different. First of all, audience.
Right.
Because once you go into apps, you skew younger.
Right.
So once you skew younger, it's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Now it's liberating to me, because now I don't have to speak like this and be the broadcaster. And no, I don't. I can be me, because that. But then again, that's the progression.
Adult audience.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, I got you.
and it's a progression of what the media used to be and what it is now.
Right.
That's why we can do this.
Yeah.
The media, that's what it is. It's hip now. It's it's people talking normal conversations like this. Absolutely.
Exactly. And I remember back in the day, it was with my little pad and, crossing out the questions, because the question had to go with the highlight.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to do that.
Yeah, you have to stay on format.
Yes.
Hey, all right, and I see you got a podcast yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's been on and off, but it started during the pandemic, and it really started because
You needed to do something too.
Yeah, because I was sick and tired of sitting on my hands.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, you mentioned the interviews. Right. To me, is key to bring the person, not the athlete, up front, and not just the athlete, but people don't understand the importance of a cut man or an assistant.
Yeah.
Trainers, the conditioning coaches that have been around forever. Nobody knows them. Nobody knows them. They don't. I mean, I remember back in the day, I'm going to throw a name that most people don't even know. I learned about cuts with a gentleman by the name of Joe Souza. Joe used to be the cut man for Fernando Vargas. Okay. I learned everything about epinephrine with that man and the value of Vaseline. And it was funny, because I wish if I could have done then what I do now, was to sit down with him. And I mean, we're talking nasty cuts and bumps and concussions, and he would take care of everything. And this guy was like 150 years old. Nice. There was so much pride to him, and he had missing teeth, but he was a journeyman. Like he's the type of guy that you would show up, you didn't have a cut man, and you would say, Joe,
right,
and he would back you up.
Yeah,
he wouldn't even ask you how much money, nada, cero. Just for the value of being able to help you.
Yeah.
And if I could have done then what I can do now, is highlight those people, because without them, you wouldn't be doing what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And is that what you do on the podcast? You highlight people?
Yeah, I have a lot of that.
Okay.
And then one of my things is to, again, I had a great interview with Tyson Fury, of all people.
Wow,
we were supposed to be talking about the fight against Deontay Wilder, and we ended up talking about mental health and about that guy needs to be a motivational speaker.
He speaks amazing.
Oh my
very
God!
Clear with
It was
says.
Like one
very
of those,
eloquent with his words and stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And guess what? When I was done with that conversation, it was like, I'm ready to take on the world.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of guy. But most people only get a chance to see him fight. And he's an outstanding fighter, but he's even a better motivator.
Yeah. As well, when he came back for the Deontay fight, he had come from deep depression and drug use and everything, and they documented that real well. And he's, like I said, he's a very well-spoken person. So when he sends his message out, it's clear.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And 2022, how's 2022 looking for you?
Well, on January 8th, I got the notification that I'm going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. That was an alley-oop right there. That was an alley-oop right there.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That is the
That's
ultimate
huge.
dream.
I know. And I was talking about the Heat game that's going on right now. I did a short little whatever. And this guy was going like, you do know how important that is. It doesn't sink in. And he goes, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren are going to be able to go there, look at the book, and look at you, and look at your fist, and I'm like,
my
I got
coach.
tear-eyed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
My coach got it last year in 2021.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, but he's badass.
Yeah.
Commander
Zero.
Oh,
Orlando
Commander
Guerrero,
Zero. Sí. Ese es otro que es bravo. Yes.
Man, but congratulations to you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So what they give you, the Hall of Fame award for sports broadcasting?
Yes, for media.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And you should see, it's so funny because, do you remember Sesame Street? One of these things doesn't look like the others.
Yeah.
It's a long list of, the line is so long of all men, and here comes Claudia with the flower dress, and I'm like,
That's awesome.
It's hilarious.
As it should be right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And my daughter goes, you should be a little bit more serious. Like, they're calling me up to announce, and I'm like, yeah!
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's huge.
So that's
you.
how she started the year right there, winning that, right?
No,
Yes.
Kicking ass. First week of the year. Boom.
Yes.
Hall of Fame for you.
Yes. And again, back in 1990, I had no idea what I was going to do. I just came with a goal. It's funny because there's a saying in Spanish, tú haz tus planes que Dios dispone.
Yeah.
It is what it is,
It's in his hands. Oh yeah, Claudia, another thing I wanted to bring up too was you invited me, thank you very much for that, to a youth foundation.
Yes, Magic Waste Youth Foundation.
Magic Waste Youth Foundation. It was amazing. Thank you.
The kids
for
were
that.
so excited to see you. I mean, imagine. Yeah. Okay, so this is Magic Waste Youth Foundation. Started with Rudy.
Yeah.
And Rudy Bustamante, he's the owner of Magic Waste. And he found that there's this huge gap between the foster system and adulthood. Foster system will stop when you turn 18, yay or nay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
So what happens to these kids? Most of them, obviously, if they're in foster care, it's because they have nowhere to go.
Right.
But at 18, I was still green behind my ears and God knows what else.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I love this cause because what he provides is scholarships to allow kids to continue in education and provide housing and just, a head start.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
And unfortunately, our youth, it's a disservice at this point in time. A lot of them are at risk. They come from single parents or no parents, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Difficult
A lot
childhood.
of drug addiction.
Exactly.
A lot of worse things than that possibly.
Exactly. So when I bring somebody like you and they have the opportunity to see, it doesn't matter where you come from. Is what you do with what you have, what counts.
Right.
And I'm not saying that everybody has a difficult childhood, but I'm saying sometimes the opportunities are not all there. Sometimes, for instance, I mean, how many parents really have $150,000 to $200,000 sitting in some bank to send the kids to college? Yeah. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, no.
No, but the foundation gives them the tools, not to say, here's your $150 grant, $50,000.
No, but let's get you started.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And here, when was the last time that I never got anybody tell me, hey, there's this book because there is a book, did you all know, with scholarships?
I'm 40 and you're schooling me right now because
I'm 53. I had no idea. There's like books that talk about, now with the internet, you can actually go and check for grants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're available, like at Harvard, at MIT. But you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And just the exposure.
If you know better, you do better.
Exactly. And the exposure to other possibilities. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. Right. Because I was given the opportunity to look at other possibilities, serendipity or not, be it miracles, be it whatever, or somebody just playing a joke on me. I don't know. But somebody gave me another opportunity because once my mom was gone, I was head of household.
Right.
What the fuck was I going to do?
Well, you did it.
But I did
you did it.
Yes.
You did it. You let it rip.
No, and it was awesome too that night. Shout out, I think his name is Chef Rudy.
Yes.
He was a foster care child, grew up in the system, and now he's a successful chef doing his thing. Happy, gave a great speech, heartfelt, dog. It was cool. So shout out to him.
Yes, and all kinds of accolades for a chef, and God knows that to be a chef and just to be recognized is a very, very tough business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good eats are hard to come by.
That's true.
Yes.
I'm huge on the food. Rudy, if you're watching this. All right. So what's in the near future right now? You got I know there's a BYB in March, but anything coming up now for February?
Well, February 19th, we have DAZN. We have.
I'm fighting February 19th.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be watching.
Okay.
Because thanks to technology, because I am gonna be in town.
I'll give you my app information.
Well, you know I'm going to be on it 100%. And Jaime Munguia is coming up right now. We just got the notification that there's 2 offers for Canelo. So we're on like all hands on deck.
Nice.
Because it's either DAZN or PBC. So it's either Charlo or Bivol. So, you know, we don't have seasons. So it's always on call. It's whatever
it's
comes
always
up.
boxing season.
Yes, always. And the funny thing is, one of the conversations that I usually have with the young guns coming up is like, I don't care if you're Pepito Perez and your trainer is Freddie Roach himself. You got to be on point. Because you never know when you're going to get that phone call. Right.
You know, we've been talking about that a lot on the last couple of shows. That it's true. You don't know. You got to answer every phone call, open every door, talk to every person you can, because you never know which one's going to be the one.
And be ready.
Yeah.
Be
ready.
And be ready. Yeah.
On your
So,
part, be ready for sure.
There's this one situation that I always bring to the table. Brady's Prescott.
Best Colombian.
Brady's Prescott. Yeah.
I fought on a couple of his cards.
Do you remember what was his claim to fame?
No, I don't.
He fought Amir Khan, who is a gold medalist from England, and knocked him out in the first 45 seconds.
Brady's knocked out Amir Khan?
Yes.
Amir Khan's serious. Amir Khan fought Canelo too, I think.
Yes, he did, and lost really bad. It was a horrible knockout. I was there. It was 3 minutes on the canvas, and I'm thinking, holy... what that happens because I talk it. Let's call it trauma. Once you get past those first 30 seconds and there is no reaction from the fighter, I go on emergency mode. I go on, shut the cameras down. Don't broadcast. Go wide because you never know.
Right.
And it was
might be watching a man die. God forbid.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes, but Brady's Prescott was literally a last minute call.
Yeah, he always is. He comes in B-side, never, last minute call guy, but he always steps up to the plate and he gives a hell of a fight.
Yes, and the most humble guy, but that's what, that's how he made a living. Let's not forget that Bernard Hopkins, before he fought Tito Trinidad, he was a last minute call.
Right.
The difference is B-Hop, his work ethic is unparalleled. To this day, he's like 200 years old, and he looks better than he did 150 years ago.
That's the alien, baby.
Yes, no kidding. Yeah. At the time, he was the executioner. So I've seen a good transition.
I love the executioner too. and so that's February 19.
Yes.
And what about what's next? Are you doing the next BYB? Yes, right?
Yes, of course. That's March, and we're going to be in Tampa. And then,
that's in Tampa. That's right.
Yes.
I know it's somewhere else. That's
yes,
right.
and then I believe we already have dates for August. So we're, it's again another project that is it a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you cannot for sure say this is our card because you never know what can happen. Especially you guys spar. This is something that people don't know. Fighters fight always hurt. There is not one fighter that walks in the ring in perfect, pristine condition. Fighters go into the ring, in the cage, and they're always hurt.
You're saying the truth. Every morning.
Talk to him.
Exactly. And whenever somebody says, que ese es un saco de papas, he's no good, that annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea how much it takes to get up in the morning, do the run, do the training, then spar, be healthy, eat right, eat like 5 times a day, depending on what you're trying to make weight, and then show up.
Yeah.
And then show up. And still give you a good fight.
Yeah.
And now you have the gall to say, es un saco de papas. You do it. If it were that, you do it.
Yeah, that's why they won't do it, because not everybody could do it.
There's a great, not poem, but something written, I think, by Theodore Roosevelt. It's called The Man in the Arena.
Yes. The credit does not go to the one sitting in the bleachers, but the one in the arena that gets sand on his knees.
Right.
Yes.
You guys check that out. Man in the Arena. It's a great speech or whatever it was. It's amazing. You for the last 30 years, you know what you're doing on you got your dates, your calendars locked in.
Not even.
No.
Dude,
she's just ready to go on a. She's ready to go.
I am.
Yeah. And that's what we were just saying too.
Yeah. She's just ready
I never know. Like February looks pretty bleak. I mean,
Yeah.
I just have one fight, but I'm happy that I have one fight. Remember, back in 2020, we had nothing.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right,
So
right, right,
again,
right.
it's like, and then I get a chance to do this, which is another thing. I never had a chance to be home and hang out with my guys. Go to the because I go to the public workouts, but now I go to the gym. I go to the tropical park.
Yeah.
I go visit King Kong Ortiz.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Because man. So it unas por otras. There's that old saying that sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you.
Yeah.
The bear never gets me.
You swerving on the bear.
Exactly. And the faint does wonders.
That's
Hell
because
yeah.
you're dressed as Claudia, but you're really a bear inside.
Yes, I am a bear. Yes.
All right. You know what I want to ask you? How'd you get from LA to Miami? Where did Miami come in the picture for you?
Funny.
Even though
'cause
there's a million Colombians down here too.
I know, but oddly enough, I was just sharing that. I had come from doing a story with the Kings hockey in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I walk into the studio and the news director says, I got a phone call from a gentleman by this name, and they want to speak to you. I said, okay, but I got to do the live shot because back in the day, you would have to come back to the studio, edit the piece, and then go back to do the live. Yeah. So, okay, but, typical Claudia, ilusa. So I got to go back. And I get the phone call from the gentleman. He goes, how would you like to work for the network? I said, sure. What does that mean? I had no idea.
Yeah,
Zero.
yeah.
And he says, the caveat is you got to be here on Monday. This was Thursday.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
In Miami living, bring out your shit.
Everything.
Coño.
Pero pete.
Rough root.
My heart is still in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I've been living in Miami since 2002. So, and I was doing my little segment in sports. I had my weekend sports show. In my book, I was rocking.
Yeah, that's it. You was doing it.
I was doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you became a rock star now.
Yeah, but but I had no idea. I was like,
you didn't.
and then
That's the best part about it. That you had no idea, but you put your head down, you worked your ass off, you stay consistent.
It's like the leap
Yes.
of faith almost type of thing.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I literally brought clothes for a week. And okay, so back in the day, Los Angeles, I lived in East Los Angeles, so I walked around in baggy jeans and
East LA homes.
Yeah, total East Los. Norwalk. A shout out to my people in Norwalk and Santa Fe Springs.
Let's go.
I lived right down the street from the refinery, man. So it was steel toe boots, oversized jeans, wife beaters, and an oversized shirt.
Yeah.
That's how I showed up for work.
But for people that don't know, Claudia showed up today in a lowrider.
I had
Yeah,
a low
switches.
rider. Yeah, dude.
That's why I got these Mexican mustaches.
We were setting it up. We were setting it up.
Yes. My God, you just brought great memories. Because I know how to do some serious body work, bondo, sand it
Mike,
down.
look, my mic needs some work done in the
Yes,
car.
whatever you do. I'm a good assistant. And then I'm badass at pinstriping, by the way. Great
Whoa.
pose. Straight lines.
Are you? All right, when we go downstairs, you're gonna see what we have back there.
Oh, I'm dying to see it. So long story short, I say, okay, fine. But my idea is, okay, I'm going to figure it out, be there for, however long, because they were launching this new show. And I said, yeah, well, I like new challenges. I'll launch it and then I'll come back to LA. That was back in 2002. I have yet to go back to LA to work.
Wow.
I mean, I work in LA
Like you've traveled there, yeah. You've
But
traveled.
Miami's been home since then?
since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But in my head,
Hi, Elia.
hi, Aaliyah. Yes. Yes.
Let's go.
But wait, it has a bad rap, but you know what?
No,
Hialeah
no,
Gardens
no,
is
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Born and raised in
Hialeah
Miami.
Gardens. Look, Jen,
Yeah.
what's up, Jen? Why you
Right
cracking up?
next to the homes right next to the canal, and there was this beautiful little restaurant by the canal that was called Moon.
Over Miami.
No, that's
sandwich
Denny's.
from Denny's, yeah.
That's Denny's. Moon over Miami.
I love that sandwich, dude.
Yeah,
sounds
sí, ya
like a
me
good
está
idea
sacando los
already.
trapos al sol. Because that was my go-to after I got done at Macarena.
Yeah, after the club.
Oh,
Yeah, after
Moon
the.
over Miami. Macarena. You guys are too young to remember Macarena. Oh my God. That's,
But it was a club, right?
Is the Pope Catholic? Yes. I would literally shut the place down with my friend. I'm not going to throw
Wasn't
my
it
friends.
Hialeah or Macarena?
Macarena was on Lincoln.
Oh, in Lincoln on the
Yeah.
beach. Okay.
And then, no, Collins. It was on Collins. Or was it Lincoln? Anyway.
The beach.
It was on the
It was
beach.
the
You get out the club, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 in the morning. Let me get a move on
No,
Miami.
pero we would shut the place down, and then the chef, who was Spanish, a Spaniard, he would come. ¿Quieres una merluza? Y yo, dale la merluza. What the hell is a merluza? Who cares? At 5 o'clock in the morning. And then after having that, we would go and have ham moon over Miami.
For sure.
Óyeme, no, qué desastre. And you know, I tell these stories to my daughter, and my daughter goes, "Ay, mama." I go, yeah, just so you know that when you're going, I've been there about 10 times, and I came back safe and sound. So.
Shout out to your daughter. I met her one time with you. Shout
Yes.
out to her going to a great school.
Yes, she's now going to New World. She's
Nice.
New World. She's a junior, pretty soon a senior. But she just got accepted to a couple of summer intensives, and she's looking at moving to New York and becoming badass dancer.
Yeah, you
Hell
said
yeah.
in Juilliard, which
Yes.
is like the epitome of fucking school. Excuse me
Yes.
for my bad language. I couldn't think of a better adjective. They're fucking amazing.
No, she's and I remember getting her into ballet very much like the reason why my dad had me in sports and with my brothers. It was just to get her out of my hair. Because, you know, we're rambunctious. We're active people.
But listen, being the best at things runs in the family because she's doing amazing. You know, gets it from mom.
Amen.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
We have fun.
Yeah.
Can you believe we actually do this for a living?
That's awesome. I know. I question myself sometimes too.
Don't do
Am I really doing this?
Do you have friends that this would be part of my question to you. Do you have friends that ask you, how did you do it? Because, you know, they're in the grind. They go to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they-
I actually changed my life too. I don't come from a 9 to 5 or any office jobs at all, but I did have this way of living until I'm 40 now. I turned my life around at 35. And the question that I get asked a lot, you know, how did you do it? And it's really, it's as easy and as hard as just taking us to just doing it. As just doing it. Just like,
A leap of
yo,
faith.
you're tired of this shit? Then, and you know what's good? You know which way you got to go? It's as easy and as hard as just doing it. If that makes any sense. You know?
it makes all the
Makes
sense
perfect
in the
sense.
world. Yes, yes.
It's
And-
easy to say it. It's hard to do it. But if you, at the same time, it's not. Just do it.
Yeah.
in some-
It's scary though. It's scary. You know, you're gonna leave everything you're used to and the ways of life that you were around for a long time. But like just like you, I don't.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know how the hell I was gonna do it. But if you just keep working, put your head down, focus, surround yourself with good people that are gonna help you out, you find yourself in love with life.
Yeah.
Love with life.
And you're doing it. Just like you when you let it rip, you know what I'm saying? You had to make that decision and it was like, am I going to do it? Am I
I'm
gonna
sure
do it?
you've
I did
influenced
that.
so many women along the way. You know what I mean? There's women right now doing it. That saw Claudia Trejos doing it back in the
Thank
day.
goodness. Thank goodness.
absolutely.
And I just have to shout out to your beard. Half beard.
Yeah.
The heck? Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, it's as hard and as complicated as that beard.
Wait, but that
Lucy,
beard,
you got explaining to do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, that beard is actually has a great explanation, and it was born from people judge people too much on everything. You can't do anything right anymore because they're gonna tell you
True.
you did it wrong. So it's his way. I'm sorry for speaking for you, but
No. Let it rip. Let it rip.
It's just like fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what anybody thinks.
And the reason why I can
And
relate.
it's grown on me. It's grown on me. You know what I mean? It's grown on me.
But the reason why I
love it.
can relate and I love it and I respect you 150% because back in the day, we're talking, well, it started in the 80s, but then on TV.
Yeah.
I went with you can there's pictures, blue streak, green streak,
Yeah.
and
you got the short hair too. You know?
very
Yeah.
and I've gone from all kinds of short hair, but I've been called all kinds of things. And you know what? Talking about that step, that was my fuck you moment too, and it was my step to be comfortable with me.
Right,
Yes.
Right. Amen.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're
Perfect
all
sense.
there.
That's
Look
exactly-
at me. I got dreadlocks. I got gold teeth, tattoos on my face.
That's
you know what I mean?
exactly what it is.
I was living in fuck what people think about me lands. I think forever. Like obviously we're all human. You do hear shit, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I try for things to least affect me. You know,
Yeah.
what's possible.
I mean, for me, it was because I do music. So I've been in the entertainment business ever since I was like 13, 14, 15 years
Good
old.
for you.
So thank you. And in that, once you're in that, like in the entertainment business, and then you start getting the criticisms, then you start getting you got to sound like this so you can sound like that. You need to look like this so you could get in that. You need to find somebody to help you and then I was just like really, really lost in that. So, and then once I got to a point in my life where I was just like, all right, cool. I want to change it. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to move forward differently. I like this, and this. And how am I going to get that? Well, you know, accepting myself was one of them things. You know, before finding somebody that can help me, I need to find myself to help me. You know what I'm saying? So
Key.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So once I found that, and I felt like I needed to put myself in that position. You know, I needed to, you know, do that so I can go through that process of people saying things and then me building that strength. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is it right here. You see it right now. It's blue. Tomorrow's going to be yellow and then green. And then it don't matter because by the time we rocking, you're going to love it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And it's me. So that was that. And it's called the Let It Rip season.
So he wouldn't feel bad. I grew this mustache.
That looks great. It looks great. It looks great.
And it's called the Let It Rip season. So right now we're in the Let It Rip season 3. So this is like you know, my third year, my second year with it. You know what I mean? So
But was it a shave mishap or you?
let me tell you. So it started like this, like my whole half right here.
Right.
Half, right? Even with the mustache and
No.
everything. Yeah. So and then it was half like that. We got pictures and everything. We could probably insert the pictures here. And then
Edit here.
yeah, so and then what happened was, since I'm in the mix, I had to touch it up again. Y se me fue bajando y bajando y bajando and touch it up. And then this went away, and then I got a little chivita that was like, nah.
No.
Yo, it should be crazy. We should do like a time lapse of how it like, and then it got to this point, and I was like, I can take care of this because I can just pass the machine, pass the razor, y se me queda ahí, y ahí va a crecer. And then I did that for a year, let it grow. This year, I was like, yo, starting 2022, we're going to put color on it.
Beautiful.
So this is my second color.
That's it? There's only 2?
Yeah, it was yellow and pink first, and then now is blue.
Yeah.
The bomb. I like.
What color do you think we should be the next?
Magenta.
Ooh,
write
let's
that
go.
down, Jenny. Write that down.
Right there, like
That's
his shoes.
it's a very fancy name for hot pink. You know what? One time, okay, so true story, dude.
Let's go. True stories.
So I used to shave my eyebrows.
Really?
Like,
with
like
the lines
lines.
like this?
Un día se me fue demasiado.
Oh,
Ay,
shit.
ay, ay, ay,
Half
ay.
an eyebrow off.
Literalmente like this.
Are you
God.
serious?
Oh, no. You have no. And I don't know if you noticed
And
that
you
I
went on
have
TV?
lots of piercings.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of piercings. A lot of piercings.
A lot? Like a lot?
A lot of piercings.
Oh, wait.
and
A lot?
A lot.
Okay, I got it.
So,
I got it.
And I got lots of tattoos. And I remember somebody coming up to me and saying, could you take one earring off? I go, would you shave your head? No, because you know what? Si tuve los huevos de salir con media ceja afuera, you think an earring is going to cause any issues in my life? Por favor.
Come on.
The only reason I had to take
Did you draw it back on at least?
Sí, con polvito.
Yeah.
Pero I mean, thank goodness it was pre-digital TV. It was still standard.
Oh, wow.
So
It wasn't that HD.
No. But again, you know, people would still see me because
Yeah.
I go to the gym and okay.
And it grows back, and it grew back, and
That's another thing. I like the fact that you're willing to just say, you know, it's your opinion, it's my life, and I do with my life whatever makes your opinion that much worse.
Right.
Screw you.
Boom.
Again, we go back to, for those that get it, no explanation necessary. For those that don't, no explanation will suffice.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Period.
No matter what you
Remember
say,
what you heard that.
They won't be happy.
That no matter what.
But I'm happy. You guess what? I'm happy.
You are.
I'm happy.
Uly is. I am.
Uly, you happy? You happy?
Super happy.
Claudia's happy too.
Yes. And you know what? I had the opportunity.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it was one of those things that, you know, like in certain moments, you know, like I would wear a bathing suit and forgive me, I'm Colombian. We wear very small bathing suits.
That's fine.
So,
Me too.
thank goodness. No banana hammock. That's just not, that's taken.
The European look.
No,
Yeah.
please.
No?
No banana
Like
hammock.
Borat. Is the guy named
Borat,
Borat?
exactly. But if you're gonna do it, it's neon green though.
Yeah,
Okay, we
gotta
can do
be.
that, and
Gotta
then
be
match with the
boy.
beard.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would go viral on that motherfucker right
Yes.
there.
You really would.
The funny thing is, at the end of the game, the only thing we take are those moments.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And it's actually kind of cool to even have this platform so we can sit like this and have these moments, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Yes.
And have the team film it so everybody over there can watch these moments.
Yes.
And we can embrace these moments, all of us together, because we having
A moment.
Yes.
No, absolutely. It's good to hear people's stories, because that we without even knowing it, like I told you,
Yeah.
how many women you probably motivated, to be in certain positions in the sports game,
And that's
which was
important.
very tough for a long time for women.
Very tough, and that's why I enjoyed so much meeting your fiance, because she's. I'm gonna say it.
Thank you.
There's badass, and then your wife.
Yeah.
To be.
Yeah.
I mean, this girl is the epitome of she's just hot, smart, and strong and driven. I mean, where'd you get that? Well,
Hey, thank you, God.
How you scoop that up
God
like
did.
that?
yeah, no, for real. I need to know. It's like, where can I get one of those?
God
But
put
a
it in my
guy.
hand. God put her in my path, and again, thank God for that.
Yeah.
I was just doing the right thing, doing what I needed to be doing, and He goes, "Here you go. You deserve this angel."
Yes, because again, she was extremely eloquent when they came to join us at the gala, and the thing that strikes me, let's be clear, she's at a completely different level.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean, an
absolutely.
exposure,
Absolutely.
influencer, yada yada. Yet she was humble enough to sit and talk to me and talk to the kids, and just accessible.
Absolutely.
And that is those are the real people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. People get a misconception because of things like that, like being on TV and stuff. And once they meet you, they're like, "You're so down to earth. You're so cool." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's true. We put up that misconception for people watching me on YouTube.
No, but they loving you now. They're like, "Oh my God, I didn't think Uly's so funny." That's what they be saying now in the comments over here on YouTube.
Yeah, I think he was just a monster. Right?
Yeah.
I try to speak well. All right. Big part of our show that we've asked every guest that's been on here. We want to know: do you believe in aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think we're aliens. The way
We're-
we think,
yeah.
the things we do, the way we carry ourselves.
Which is
Pero-
weird. We're
Have you
at the
se-
bottom of the totem pole in the alien world, to tell you the truth.
Have you seen
We're
some
like
alien
the
shit?
Alien
No,
ant
I've
farm.
never
No,
seen it.
you've
but
traveled the world a lot, so
yes, but no.
No, you
but
haven't
you
seen
know
that?
what? It's pretty egocentric to think that in the vast universe we're the only living beings.
Right,
that would
right,
be.
right.
I'm not gonna say those that deny it. They're no. That's my very personal view.
Yeah.
And the word alien, usually people think little green animals.
Right.
But in my view is. It's if we understand a little bit of quantum physics, we understand that the universe itself is expanding. There's growth, and we're in the midst of growth because we're still we're in diapers, man. We don't even know how to get along here.
Right.
yeah.
So, it goes hand in hand with faith, with the fact that there's got to be something bigger, better, smarter, because I am going to try to get there, to be a better person, to just be bigger and be able to understand, the shortcomings of humanity. Because the universe is just, mathematically we still cannot limit the size of the universe. So to think that we are the only ones, the creators,
Right.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, no, that's the popular answer, man. It's true. The galaxy's too big for us to be. We're like the alien ant farm. I always say the same thing, The alien ant- these guys are fucking shit.
Like she said, they can't even get along there.
Exactly.
We can't even get along.
Exactly.
We're gonna leave them alone over there. We're gonna stay over here.
You know what? It's like they send people like, for example, I'm an avid reader, so they send people like Socrates and Trismegistus, and they send Jesus, and they send Buddha, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Throw them in there and see what they do.
Dude, and this is so I'm half Jewish, half Catholic, and when my daughter, so and so is so and so, and they're, the drama, and Pepita Perez is a bad girl. I go, listen, Linda.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda. Let's backtrack a little bit. There's no such thing as a bad person. They're just having a bad moment.
Right.
The one person that came to this earth that I know for a fact that all he said was love each other. They put him on a cross. What makes you think you're such a badass?
Right.
Really?
Right.
Really? Let's back up a tad bit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
True. I say the same thing. They talk bad about Jesus. What they gonna say about you?
Yeah, por favor.
Yeah, that's why it's the Let It Rip season. And we say,
Exactly.
Fuck what they say.
Exactly. So again, and the minute that we start just going back to what you said, judging the person without understanding what circumstances made you,
Right.
you're starting off with the wrong foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because what makes your journey so much better than his or hers? Wait,
Yeah, exactly.
stop.
Right, no.
You became this person and you're having a bad moment, and why is it bugging you? Why? How about if we just, it's so easy to point this finger and there's 3 more pointing right back at you.
Yeah.
Relax.
Like that.
Accountability. A lot of people don't want to take that. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
A lot of people don't want to take accountability. It's easier to put the blame on someone else than take the accountability and have to learn, from, whatever circumstance or whatever
Why do you
situation
think that
happens.
is?
Because it's easier. It's easier to go like that. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to just hand it
And
off. Something happened, you know what I'm saying? You
excuses.
fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Excuses are easy.
Look at the common denominator between you guys. So one day you decided, yes, I need to do this to get that, but you know what? I am going to do it my way.
Yeah.
Right.
One day you decided, I don't want to live this life. It served me enough. Now I want to do something different. Not to say that was a bad lifestyle. It just served you to that point.
Right.
And life is not meant to be painful, hurtful,
Stressful. Right.
I don't like that sentence. You put your nose to a grindstone. If you're putting your nose to a grindstone, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're waking up in the morning and you're hating where you're going to go and you keep doing it, it's on you.
Right.
Because you have to be able to take that step, and it's scary.
Right.
But like you said, it takes a little bit of courage, a whole lot of will, and just doing it, repetition.
Yeah.
But
You got to let it rip.
You know what? My next question to you was I wanted to tell you, like, if you got anything to tell any young woman out there, any person out there. But I think what we just said, you hit like
She's been doing it all. She came in here. She's been doing it all episode, baby. Gems, diamonds on that thing.
you know what? So during the pandemic, I ended up writing my book, and I
yes, right, yeah.
yes, Against the Ropes.
That's awesome.
And one of the things that I talk about is
We need a signed copy for right here, by the way.
yes.
We're going to go to Amazon and buy that shit.
No.
What?
Yeah, Amazon. I bring it over. A lot of people get caught up in the I can't do, I wasn't given, I was not privileged, and it's interesting because we have 3 different paths, and you have yet to say I couldn't do it. You have yet to say it was too tough and I couldn't do it. I've had bad days just like anybody, but I still wake up and keep doing it.
Right.
Our biggest enemy is ourselves.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
When you understand that whatever you think and whatever you do with your heart will be your reality, be it because you hate somebody or you're hating the situation, you're perpetuating that. So a lot of my girls, I've been blessed to be able to see this new generation of ladies taking over the business. Don't be afraid. Remember the reason why the fuck are we here? Why?
She said, why are we here? Yeah.
Yeah, why are we here? Why are you here? Why do you walk into the ring? Because passion,
Yeah.
love. That's the real motivation. So I don't care if Pepita Perez is younger or Menganita is sleeping with Pepito, because it's always that drama.
Yeah.
Especially among us ladies. No, porque es que fulanita, bigger boobs, whatever. It's like, dude, no. What's yours is yours, and we'll come to you no matter what.
Yep.
Just hone what it is that you want. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Your purpose.
You find so much peace when you just don't give a shit about other people's opinion. You know?
Exactly.
And you find so much peace in yourself. You feel like a gorilla just jumps off your back.
And definitely when you find your purpose, man, like when you're fighting, like, you know what I'm saying? Fighting is your purpose,
Saved
you know
my
what I'm
life.
saying? And me, I feel like music, and even like now through this journey, like it's just like creating, like the art of like the photography and videography, the process and the journey that we're going as talents, right? So me, I'm also like on the back end of even like my career, right? Like my photography, videography, the content creation. This is my brand, by the way, History Makers.
Let it rip.
Yes, hell yeah. And we also have like Monster Brand Global. We have our team. This is the team right here. So and just like creating these projects, and it's like purpose is like I actually wake up in the morning. I'm excited. I'm happy.
You feel like P. Diddy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
You know, I'm just waiting to get the money like P. Diddy, but we working.
Wait, no, you don't wait. You don't wait.
We don't wait.
You don't
We
wait.
getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to speak it right into the existence.
Listen.
But the reason,
I know that sounds like, like juju, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
No.
don't wait. Esa es mentira. You don't need to wait. I promise you.
yeah,
As God is my witness, I am living proof of that. You don't need to wait.
hell yeah, I like that. She's speaking. I like that. I'm taking that.
I feel
I'm
like-
feeling that in my heart. I'm feeling that.
Exactly.
I feel like running through the wall right now.
You go.
And the reason, the reason why I said, just even why I said wait is just that because I'm not really doing it for that, So I know that in the process that's gonna come, but I'm enjoying the process and building it with the team. And Don't Blink Podcast is an amazing platform, and having amazing guests like yourself that just this podcast alone, just so much energy, your vibe, your voice, your story, your journey, your hard work. And if anyone hasn't, like, I want to give her flowers, you know what I'm saying, for being such an amazing person and being able to inspire so many and inspiring me. This is the first time I run, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have her right here in front of us, and it's like, damn, she really did just touch me like that, man. And this is why I'm saying this.
Absolutely.
And it's being recorded too. So it's
Yay!
I love it.
It's an honor and a pleasure to call you my friend, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. And my friend too. Even though we're going to go downstairs and take the gloves off and we're going to do a Don't Blink competition. They didn't tell you about that?
No.
Oh yeah, welcome to Don't Blink, baby.
Yeah, we got a little competition. He's been doing good actually lately.
Oh,
The last
talk
time I
to
got
them. Yes.
Claudia, it's been amazing having you on. I look forward to having you on again.
Por
You know what I mean?
favor.
Yes, hell yeah.
Absolutely. And I'll be seeing you soon.
Yes.
Let everybody know where we can find you.
You can find me on all the social media, and it's very simple. It's at Claudia Trejos, Trejos. It's a plural of my cousin Trejo, but it's Trejos with an S.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody look her up. Find
Yes.
Claudia doing her thing from the boxing world to sports world. Period.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And,
just an amazing person, amazing woman.
Yes.
And it's
Thank
been
you.
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. We
Thank
love
you for letting me
Yeah.
come and play and join you guys in the sandbox.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you know what? Talking about the sandbox, that's some metaverse shit. I gotta buy a house there soon.
Oh.
You know about the metaverse?
No.
Me neither. Everybody don't blink.
Wait, stop. Actually, do know if you're talking about that metaverse. Yes.
There's a place called the Sandbox that you live in.
But I didn't know about the sandbox.
Yeah, okay, so if you got money, like Snoop Dogg lives in a sandbox in the metaverse, and there's like real estate that costing like
Yes.
they bought a 600
Digital real estate. Yes. But I didn't know there was something called the sandbox.
That's where the money people live. That's where you.
That's crazy. So they're already in there. They're already in there.
We need to get up in there quick. Call the sacks and lakes and deer
There
running
you go.
around. and
Let's
shit.
call.
Yo, Claudia, so, right quick, you said the metaverse. Are you into, like, the NFTs? Are you looking into
of
those
course.
things?
Of course.
Yeah.
I started
Crypto?
with Bitcoin and
Okay.
Ethereum.
Okay,
and
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so she's putting her money in there.
Yeah.
She's
Wait,
that's
stop.
Hey, she you know she's been around a long time around big business.
No, and she woke too. And she woke. Claudia's mad woke. So she see what's going on. She's like, oh, espérate, esto es una nueva transición que está pasando aquí.
Tal
Espérate.
cual. Tal
Exactly.
cual.
Yo no me voy a
Yes.
quedar atrás. Mira, 10,000, toma 20,000, toma
Wait,
30.
don't put her business out there. Listen, this has been a great episode of Don't Blink Podcast.
Thank you.
Me, Too Nice,
Yes.
and Claudia Trejos in the building, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you. We love you.
I love you too.
And thank
Yes.
you. Don't blink. Pow.
I think me and Too Nice got something great going on. We got some great guests coming up. It's gonna be dope. We got some dope people that already signed up to do it with us, which is great. A lot of people show us love, and it's because we love them back for sure.